What if I told you that some of the strongest, most independent people over 80 aren't lifting heavy weights, aren't running marathons, and definitely aren't spending hours in the gym? In fact, many Japanese elders stay mobile, balanced, and pain-free, with just a few simple movements woven quietly into their daily routines. No machines, no memberships, just consistency. If you're over 50, your body doesn't need punishment. It needs practice. And in Japan, especially in longevity hotspots like Okinawa, growing older doesn't automatically mean growing weaker. People in their 70s, 80s, even 90s still garden, walk to the market, sit on the floor, and get back up without any help. Not because they're genetically superior, but because they move differently, daily, gently, intentionally. Today, I'm going to walk you through 6 simple movements commonly practiced by Japanese elders that support strength, balance, joint health, and independence. Each one is backed by science. Each one can be done right at home, and together they create something far more powerful than a weekly workout. They create resilience. Let's start with something that may look almost too simple to matter. The first movement is deep, intentional squatting. In many traditional Japanese homes, sitting on the floor is common. Meals are eaten at low tables, and futons are placed directly on tatami mats. That means people are indeed just sitting down into chairs dozens of times a day, they re-lowering themselves all the way to the ground and standing back up. That repeated motion is essentially a bodyweight squat. Now here's why this is so critical after 50. Muscle loss or sarcopenia starts accelerating around this age. And one of the first areas to weaken, the quadriceps and glutes. Those muscles are what allow you to climb stairs, get out of a car, stand up from the toilet, or catch yourself if you trip. Research consistently shows that lower body strength is one of the strongest predictors of longevity and independence. And the squat trains exactly that. But here's the key difference. Japanese elders don't treat squats as an exercise. They treat them as life. To practice this safely, you don't need to drop into a full deep squat on day 1. Start with what's called a sit-to stand. Use a sturdy chair. Sit down slowly. Stand up without using your hands if possible. Do it 5 to 10 times in a row, slow and controlled. As you get stronger, you can gradually lower the height of the seat. Eventually, you can practice squatting deeper, holding onto a countertop for support if you need it. This isn't about reps. It's about maintaining the ability to get up and down under your own power. And that ability is freedom. Now, the second movement might surprise you because it doesn't look like exercise at all. It's walking, but not the rushed, distracted kind. In Japan, walking is integrated into daily life. In cities like Kyoto and Tokyo, many older adults walk to the store, to visit friends, or to local shrines. Public transport encourages it. Neighborhood design encourages it. But here's the important part, the pace. Many elders walk at a moderate, steady rhythm, swinging their arms naturally, keeping their posture upright, and breathing through the nose. This isn't power walking. It's rhythmic, consistent movement. Science tells us that consistent, moderate walking improves cardiovascular health, supports brain function, reduces inflammation, and helps preserve joint mobility. It also stimulates something called mitochondrial biogenesis, basically helping your cells produce energy more efficiently as you age. For people over 50, walking daily is one of the most powerful longevity tools available. To make it more effective, focus on your posture. Imagine a string gently pulling the top of your head upward. Relax your shoulders. Let your arms swing freely. Step heel to toe. Start with 10 minutes. Build to 20 or 30 most days of the week. It's not about intensity. It's about frequency. The third movement is something deeply rooted in Japanese morning culture. It's called Ragyo Teizo. Ragyo Teizo began nearly a century ago and is still broadcast across Japan every morning. In parks and community centers, you'll often see people of all ages performing gentle, rhythmic calisthenics together. The movements include arm circles, gentle twists, light knee bends, shoulder rolls, and coordinated breathing. What makes this so powerful isn't complexity. It's consistency and joint lubrication. As we age, our joints produce less synovial fluid, the natural lubricant that keeps them moving smoothly. Gentle, dynamic movement in the morning stimulates that fluid production. It reduces stiffness, improves range of motion, and decreases the risk of injury throughout the day. You don't need the radio broadcast to benefit from this. Each morning, just spend 5 minutes moving every major joint. Roll your shoulders, circle your wrists, rotate your hips gently, lift your arms overhead, and stretch tall. Slowly twist from side to side. Get to think of it as telling your body, we're still using this, because when joints aren't used, they lose mobility. And when mobility goes, so does independence. Now here's where things get even more interesting. The fourth movement isn't about strength or flexibility. It's about balance.
Ow.
In Japan, falls are taken very seriously among older adults, and for good reason. A single fall can dramatically change someone's quality of life after 60. So balance training isn't an afterthought. It's woven into daily habits. One of the simplest practices is standing on one leg while brushing your teeth or waiting for water to boil. That's it. Standing on one leg forces your stabilizing muscles, especially around the ankles, hips, and core to engage. Also challenges your proprioception, which is your body's awareness of its position in space. Research shows that the ability to balance on one leg for at least 10 seconds is associated with a lower mortality risk in older adults. If that sounds dramatic, it is, because balance isn't just about avoiding falls. It reflects your overall neuromuscular health. Start by standing near a wall or countertop. Lift one foot slightly off the ground. Hold for 10 seconds. Then switch sides. As you improve, try closing your eyes for a few seconds or turning your head gently from side to side. It's a small challenge with a big payoff. Now the fifth movement takes us back to the floor. It's called seiza, or formal kneeling. While it might look uncomfortable to Westerners, seiza is a traditional way of sitting that offers unique benefits. It deeply stretches the quadriceps and the tops of the ankles, areas that get incredibly tight from sitting in chairs all day. Maintaining flexibility in these areas is crucial for walking, kneeling, and getting up from the floor. But more than that, seiza promotes good posture. To sit comfortably in seiza, your spine needs to be erect and your core engaged. It discourages slouching. Of course, this position can be intense if you're not used to it. Don't force it. Start by placing a cushion or a yoga block under your hips to reduce the pressure on your knees and ankles. Sit for just 30 seconds at a time, focusing on your breathing. Over weeks and months, you may be able to lower the support or hold it for longer. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is gentle, consistent stretching to maintain the mobility your joints need for a lifetime of movement. Finally, the sixth movement is perhaps the most important for overall health and stress management. It's deep belly breathing, or hara-hachi-bu breathing. In Japanese culture, the hara, or lower abdomen, is considered the body's center of energy and vitality. Deep diaphragmatic breathing stimulates the vagus nerve, which activates the body's rest and digest system. This simple act can lower blood pressure, reduce cortisol levels, and calm the nervous system. In our busy lives, we often breathe shallowly, using only the top of our lungs. This keeps our bodies in a state of low-grade stress. Japanese elders often practice intentional breathing, especially during moments of rest or before sleep. To practice this, lie down or sit comfortably. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. As you inhale slowly through your nose, focus on making your belly rise, not your chest. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, feeling your belly fall. Try this for just 2 to 3 minutes a day. Connects your mind to your body and combats the chronic stress that accelerates aging. So there you have it, 6 simple movements. Sit 2 stands, mindful walking, daily joint rotations, one-legged balancing, gentle kneeling, and deep belly breathing. None of them require a gym. None of them are extreme. But when practiced consistently, they build a foundation of strength, balance, and mobility that can keep you active and independent for decades to come. It's the quiet, consistent effort that builds a resilient body. Start small, stay consistent, and listen to your body. Thank you for watching. Now here's where things get even more interesting. The fourth movement isn't about strength or flexibility. It's about balance. In Japan, falls are taken very seriously among older adults, and for good reason. A single fall can dramatically change someone's quality of life after 60. So balance training isn't an afterthought. It's woven into daily habits. One of the simplest practices is standing on one leg while brushing teeth or waiting for water to boil. That's it. Standing on one leg forces your stabilizing muscles, especially around the ankles, hips, and core, to engage. It also challenges your proprioception, which is your body's awareness of its position in space. Research shows that the ability to balance on one leg for at least 10 seconds is associated with lower mortality risk in older adults. If that sounds dramatic, it is.
Ow.
Because balance isn't just about avoiding falls. It reflects neuromuscular health. Start by standing near a wall or countertop. Lift one foot slightly off the ground. Hold for 10 seconds. As you improve, try closing your eyes for a few seconds or turning your head gently side to side. Small challenge, big payoff. Now the fifth movement takes us back to the floor. Traditional Japanese lifestyles often involve kneeling or sitting in a position called seiza. While this exact posture may not be comfortable or necessary for everyone, the ability to flex and extend the knees fully is important. Modern chair-heavy living limits how often we bend our knees deeply. Over time, that limited range can lead to stiffness and weakness. Practicing gentle kneeling transitions, even holding on to support, can maintain knee and hip mobility. A safer version. Try a half kneel. Place a cushion on the floor. Step one foot back and lower your knee down gently while holding onto a chair. Then return to standing. Alternate sides. This movement strengthens the hips, improves coordination, and maintains joint range of motion. It also mimics real-life actions like getting up from the ground after gardening or picking something up. And that brings us to the sixth and perhaps most overlooked movement: intentional breathing with posture. In many Japanese wellness traditions, including practices influenced by Zen and martial arts, breathing is slow, diaphragmatic, and upright. As we age, posture tends to collapse forward. Shoulders round, juts forward. This compresses the lungs and reduces breathing efficiency. By simply sitting or standing tall and practicing slow belly breathing, inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 6-0, activate the parasympathetic nervous system. It reduces stress hormones, lowers blood pressure, and supports recovery. It also strengthens the diaphragm, a muscle that plays a role in core stability. Strong breathing supports strong movement. Now here's what makes these 6 movements powerful. Individually, they seem almost too easy. But together, practiced daily, they form a foundation. Lower body strength from squatting, cardiovascular health from walking, joint mobility from morning movement, stability from balance work, hip and knee resilience from kneeling, nervous system support from breathing. No single session is exhausting, but the cumulative effect is enormous. And there's a deeper philosophy here. In Japan, the concept of Kaizen emphasizes small, continuous improvement, not extreme effort, not dramatic transformation, just steady practice. The body responds beautifully to that approach, because at this stage of life, recovery matters more. Consistency matters more. Sustainability matters more. You don't need to train like you're 25. You need to move like you plan to live to 90. Now imagine this. You wake up. Spend 5 minutes gently moving your joints. Now practice slow breathing. Throughout the day, you walk with intention. You sit and stand without using your hands. You balance on one leg while brushing your teeth. None of it feels like a workout. But your muscles are engaged, your joints are nourished, your brain is stimulated, your heart is supported. This is how strength quietly builds. And the best part? It's never too late to begin. Here's the truth. Most people over 50 aren't told. Strength isn't something you chase once or twice a week in a gym. It's something you practice daily in small, almost invisible ways. And the people who stay independent into their 80s and 90s understand this deeply. In places like Okinawa, longevity isn't built on intensity. It's built on rhythm. It's daily squatting to sit and stand, walking with purpose. Morning joint movements inspired by Rajo Teizo, standing on one leg without thinking twice, kneeling and rising from the floor, breathing slowly with tall posture. None of it is extreme. All of it is powerful. And here's what the science keeps confirming. After 50, consistency beats intensity. Muscle still responds to resistance. The brain still builds new neural pathways. Joints still adapt to movement. Balance can still improve. It just requires repetition, not punishment. If you do these 6 movements daily, here's what begins to happen over weeks and months. Your legs feel more stable on stairs. Your knees feel less stiff in the morning. Your posture becomes taller without effort. Your walks feel easier, not harder. You trust your body again. That trust is everything. Aging well isn't about avoiding wrinkles or chasing youth. It's about maintaining capability. Being able to get up off the floor, carry groceries, travel, play with grandchildren, walk without fear of falling. And the beautiful part, you don't need equipment. You don't need perfect joints. You don't need to be fit. You just need to start where you are. Start with 5 sit-to stands. Start with a 10-minute walk. Start with standing on one leg for 10 seconds. Start with one slow, deep breath. Then repeat tomorrow. Small actions. Daily repetition. Lifelong payoff. Your body is always listening to what you ask of it. If you ask it to sit, it will become good at sitting. If you ask it to move, even gently, it will adapt. And if you ask it to stay strong, it will try its best to meet you there. So if you're over 50, don't think in terms of workouts. Think in terms of rituals. Think in terms of daily movement, woven into your life so naturally that skipping it would feel strange. That's the quiet secret. Move every day. Move in simple ways. Move with intention. In years from now, your future self will thank you not for how hard you trained, but for how consistently you practiced strength.